Hi, my name is Tommaso.
And my name is Chris.
Welcome to HEARIN'spire. If you're considering living abroad for a short or a long period, you are in the right place. In this podcast, we will share our personal experiences and tell how stressful, but also amazing, it can be to move your whole life to a different country. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome to the first episode of the Inspire podcast, the podcast born from the Inspire project, Marie Curie Action, founded by the European Union. My name is Tommaso, I will be the host for this first episode, and I'm here today with Dustin and Sarah. Hi guys, how are you?
Hey, fine, thanks. To you?
All good?
Hi, Tommaso. Everything all right here?
Okay. Just a quick introduction. So we decided to do this podcast because the Inspire project is a project that involves 15 international PhD students like us, and we are all coming from one country. And in order to be selected for this project, we had to move to a different country. So as we all know, the moving can be a bit problematic sometimes or very happy. And today we're here to talk about a little about that, how it is, what are the good things and the pros, the cons, and maybe some people can find this interesting if they are considering moving also abroad. So let's quickly start. And maybe a good way to start is to quickly ask you some very rapid and dry questions. So let's start with Dustin maybe this time. Okay, so Dustin, cats or dogs?
Cats.
Beer or wine?
Beer.
Concert or Spotify?
Concert.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Car or bike?
Bike.
Workout or chill out?
Workout.
Mountain or sea?
Mountain.
Very well. Okay, Sarah, for you. Beer or wine?
Wine.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee for sure.
Workout or chill out?
Workout.
Mountain or sea?
See?
Car or bike?
Bike.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
And concert or Spotify?
Concert.
Very well. Very, very well. Okay. Okay. Great. Nice. So I would say, like, from the beginning, right? We all were selected to a PhD position inside the Inspire project. And so there were many different countries. I'm personally from Italy. Maybe you can tell us, each one of you, where are you from, where are you now, and maybe why you decided that moving to the country that you live now was a good decision. Maybe you had an idea in mind, and maybe we'll see later if that fitted.
Yes, sure. So I can start if you're okay, Dustin. So my name is Sara, and I am from Spain. Now I am doing a PhD in applied mathematics in Paris, but I studied both my bachelor and my master in Spain, and with 1 year Erasmus in the Netherlands. My PhD is in applied mathematics, but my background is more in physics. And regarding where I am living now, I would say I have never considered France before because I didn't know French before moving, so it was not the easiest place for me. But everything all right, on the track, and it's a good country to live. I think similar culture, so I am happy with it. Thank
Okay.
you.
Nice. Very nice. What about you, Dustin?
Yeah, I'm from Germany, Hanover, and I did my bachelor and master's also in Germany. And now I'm in Belgium and in Antwerp, the university there, working on cardiovascular research basically. And really, yeah, I choose the program actually, I also never really considered, to be honest, to move to Belgium. It was more like a family reason actually due to my girlfriend, but now I'm there and really love it actually. Like Belgium is super fine. It's nice country, yeah, nice people. Also what Sarah said, culture is super similar in Europe, I think. So it's you don't miss a thing. I think that's the thing. Yeah.
Okay. Very, very nice. Thank you. I so okay, let's say Sarah is from Spain, you're from Germany, and you both like moved to two different countries. But when you move to a different country, right, like the first thing is like, okay, where I'm gonna live, like the actual like finding an apartment. And so I know that like you, Sarah, live in Paris, and you're not the first person that I know that lives in Paris. And I was told that finding a house in Paris can be sometimes a bit challenging, at least. So you want to tell us something about like, was it hard? Was it difficult? Was it horrible? Was it wonderful?
Yeah, in fact, it's not easy to find a place to live in Paris, especially like when I needed to pick the accommodation. It was all the Corona time, restrictions to travel and everything. So I couldn't go to France to actually like see in person my flat. So to look from the internet, like from your country to accommodation in Paris, can be a bit tricky because there are a lot of scams. So for me, like at the beginning, what I did it through an agency, so it was a bit more expensive. So, but at least you know that is something reliable. So if you cannot go to see the flat, yeah, my advice is to book it through an agency. If you can go to see the place, there are like several websites on the internet where you can look for accommodation. So if you can go, you can check it. It's going to be all right, but never ever trust just like something you see in the internet that looks fine, and you just take this accommodation without actually seeing it, because it's a big risk. So this is my first advice. And then the second one that I didn't know before going, and maybe it could be interesting for other students. There is a place in the south of Paris that is called Cité Universitaire, and it's like
Sounds
it's
very
not,
nice.
yeah, it's not actually like a campus, but it's like a big park with houses from several countries there, like House of France, House of Spain, House of Italy, and there they accept like PhD students, postdocs, masters, and it's not expensive. So it's a really good place to live if you want to meet people, have something that is more or less affordable for Paris standards, and people that are going to be more or less on your age, because mostly of the people there are either master or PhD. So this could be one advice to someone moving to Paris, to know people and to have something safe and in the center.
Okay, so there is like more like if I understood well, like more dorm option, and then you can also, as in any other place, like look for an apartment, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, can you tell us like on average, is it eventually, even when you are in Paris, like is it then pretty easily to find an apartment? There is like a rush. As it being like a big city, I can imagine that many people are looking for a place.
Yeah. This is it's difficult because many people apply, like when they see the announcement for an apartment, many people apply. So it's not easy to get one. And there is something additional that I have never seen in other countries, and it's that they ask for something that they call a garant, that it's like if your salary is not like super high, as if you're a student, it's not. They
Definitely not, I would say.
definitely not. So it's someone like that should cover you in case like you don't pay. So you will need someone, preferably French, that it's going to be your guarantor in case something happens. And this was like something that was really tricky for me, because I didn't know, like, someone living in France that could cover me in that case. And sometimes they were even not accepting, your parents or someone. So this is a tricky point. You need to pay attention. So I think this was one of the main difficulties. Yeah.
And then there are like any shortcuts or like ways to easily find someone, like, because uh, out of like from the top of my head, it's like, who's gonna guarantee for you a complete stranger that you don't know anyone in France, who's guaranteeing for your apartment?
Yeah, in fact, what I did, I found a place where this was not a requirement. I know people that, like, the supervisor, is the guarantee for the flat, and then there are also like some kind of insurances. So you pay like a fee, and they have like people there that can be your guarantor or something like this. So this is one solution. Then the other one is just look, for a place with no guarantee. But other option is like something like a student house like Cité Universitaire, where they are not going to ask for it, and this can be a solution just to start. Once you are there, you can exchange with people, conversation, maybe share a flat with friends. That will be more
Okay.
easy.
Okay. Sounds nice. Sounds nice. So, if anyone that is listening is planning to go to Paris, or France, maybe more like in a wide sense, get to know French people that can guarantee for your flat.
Yes.
Can be very helpful.
Yes, for sure.
Okay. So let's move to Dustin. So Dustin, Antwerp. How is it? Is it different? Do you need a Belgian guarantee for your flat?
Actually, not. No, it's enough to. Yeah, it's also you have to show like your salary proof and all that stuff. But I had the advantage that I moved actually together with my girlfriend, which also starts a job. So we both were working, and together the salary was enough because also like the rental costs in Belgium are compared to German and I think also French, especially Paris standards are actually quite low. So it is okay, like, but I think our landlord also told us, or landlady, that they would have accepted our parents. So that was at
Okay,
least, like, I
so-
think much easier than like Sarah's.
Definitely,
way there, so-
definitely.
No.
Okay. But like actually, you don't really live like in Antwerp. I know a bit of both of you because of course like it's not absolutely first time that we speak to each other. But you don't really live in Antwerp, right?
True. Yeah, as I said, like I moved together with my girlfriend to Belgium. She also has a job in Belgium, also a PhD, but like to be honest, like on the bit other side of Belgium. And we were, yeah, it was during COVID times when we moved, right? So we decided to don't move to another country and then also move to different apartments to like spread because yeah, you couldn't leave the apartment, you couldn't do anything, right? We know all that shit. That stuff. Sorry.
I think it's perfectly acceptable.
Okay. Yeah, and therefore we decided to move together, and so I'm living actually kind of close to Antwerp, like in a city called Lier, which is yeah basically the neighbor city of Antwerp. And from there, my girlfriend can take the car to work or the train, and I can still easy take the bike to work because like Belgium is very bicycle friendly, and everywhere you want to go, there's especially in Flanders, to be honest, because I'm mainly living or visiting Flanders so far. Um, you can go everywhere by bike. There's always a bike train. And yeah, nowadays also they're building even more everywhere, so it's super. And I love biking, so
That's super nice. And how is the biking situation in Paris, Sarah? Like, do you have a bike?
I have a bike. I do have a bike, but the situation, to be honest, it's crazy in comparison to places like Netherlands, Belgium. Like for instance, I did an Erasmus in a small city like in the Netherlands, in Groningen, and there it was super friendly for bikes. Like you had, like the pace everywhere. But in Paris, like you need to go like between cars. Let's say that car users are not so bike friendly sometimes, and even like when there is like a traffic jam, I don't feel like super comfortable, like going between the cars and so on. People that want to go fast, they can do it, okay? They can skip the traffic lamp or something. But you can do it, like cities mostly flat. A lot of people like use the bike, but you just need to keep in mind that is not as safe as it can be in Belgium or in the Netherlands. And also like it's a bit dangerous like to park the bike on the street, like you have a high risk to get stolen. So in my case I use it like to go to work and come back because I have a bike shed in my place. Also like in my work I know the road more, so it's okay. But normally like to move around Paris I use the metro. Mhm.
Okay, yeah, nice. Okay, good. So definitely being a bigger city, metro maybe.
Yeah.
It's a bit more practical on longer distances. Okay. Does any one of you speak the language of the country where you move to? Like, do you speak French, Sarah, or like does you speak French or Flemish actually? Because that maybe sometimes be a small issue, or maybe not.
For me, before moving, like foreign languages, I was speaking English and German, but French not at all, because at high school, like I have chosen a second foreign language, German. So in my mind, I had somehow the idea, like if one day I move, maybe it could be to Germany. then I ended up in France. So I am taking lessons to learn French. In academia, let's say that you don't need French a lot, like papers and all the material that you read is written in English. Also, my work is in English. But let's say to integrate in France, you need to learn French, like it's the language of the country. Everyone speaks French, so it's not like, I don't know, like in the Netherlands that maybe like everyone speaks English and you have many internationals. Like France, I would say, is more like Spain, so you need to learn French. So I am on the way. I am on the way.
Okay, okay. Okay, and then Dustin, what's your experience? Do you already speak Flemish fluently?
No, I don't, but I also not did before I moved, because as I said, like I never considered moving to Belgium. So yeah, in Germany in the schools you don't really learn Dutch at all. It's just like, it's your neighbor country. You can just go there, and also the language are very very familiar, right? So it's quite nice.
Oh, right, right. There are like
Yes, they have like very back then like the same background where they're developed from. So this was actually also very helpful, because when we were applying for apartments or looking for stuff, like you could normally always read the signs at least, and you were like, okay, I get what they want from me. And also language wise, especially nowadays, I mean, we'll live there for almost 2 years. I never took any lessons, but just to like talking to my colleagues. We also, I mean, in scientists, everyone speaks English, but like I also tried sometimes to encourage my colleagues to just speak Dutch when I'm in the room, so I can just listen to it. And also, like one of my colleagues or some speak a bit German, so we'll try like a bit like, okay, he learns a bit from me, I learn from him, so that's quite nice at least. The only like issue a bit I had in the beginning was that in our lab almost every labeling stuff or like the signs were all in Dutch. For sure you can read it. As I said, like it's not that difficult, but sometimes you're like, especially like in the lab situation where you like need something now or like very fast, and you're like, oh, then first you have to take your phone, check it. Okay, is it really what I understand? Because there you have to be precise, right? It's not like, okay, I get what they want, I have to know what's written as.
right.
It's like,
Is it alcohol or is it water?
yeah, for example, I mean, this you can smell. Also like some protocols. So you like you want to repeat something, you read it, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, okay, I see. But I think it also like this is an interesting thing, um, because as long as eventually the language of the country that usually you might not speak, as long as this is not a huge barrier, maybe it's even easier to feel integrated, or like to feel a bit more welcome, like to not to feel too much like a stranger in this country that then you move to, right? So
Definitely, yeah. I mean, also Belgium has a German-speaking part, but it's very, very tiny. So it's like, but
you go there if you're a bit nostalgic.
yes, no,
Spend a couple of days.
no, but this is like a very good thing in Belgium, because this trilingual country. So we have French, Dutch, or Flemish, and German. So all the public stuff you need is also available in German. So like health insurance, the information is available in German. Like also every Belgium has like its own web page where you can check your stuff for insurance and that stuff, and it's also available in German. So for sure also in English, but it was like very big advantage in the beginning, because like, okay, yeah, sure,
Right.
right, check this, yeah.
Super easy. And what about you, Sarah? So you don't speak French, but like apart from that, for the rest, do you feel well integrated in Paris? It's for sure like it's super. I don't know, like international city, because it's Paris and there are not just French people there. But in general, on a daily basis on your life.
Yeah, so now I speak a bit of French, like, a basic conversation and this kind of things I manage. So at the beginning, yeah, like it was 0-0, so it was a bit complicated, like especially for administrative stuff and so on. There, everything is in French. So at the beginning, it was a bit complicated. Now it's okay, because if it's like technical thing, maybe not. But if not, in daily situations and so on, I manage. And then
You want to give us an example of
ça va?
Ça va bien.
Ça va bien, merci.
Ça va bien.
Ça va. So, yeah, and then regarding the lifestyle there, I am pretty comfortable. The only thing that it's maybe like for me, I am not so used to, it's like such a big city. So, like the time to move from one place to other is it's crazy. Like you always need to take metro, public transportation, you have strikes, you have delays. So for me this is the worst part. But then regarding the social part, like the culture is really similar. It's, as you said, such a big city, so it's easy to make friends. Like also in my work we are a lot of international people, so in that part I am pretty happy. So
And the people that like you have met there are mainly Spanish people, or it's just like a very heterogeneous group? Because I know that you move to another country and maybe sometimes it's very different. Okay, maybe it's not your case, but sometimes it can be very different, and maybe just to feel a bit more comfortable with yourself and just to touch ground a bit, you like to find maybe people that do speak your own language, that come from your own like background and stuff, or so
yeah,
it's
yeah,
mainly
I see
it's
your
mainly
point.
Spanish people that you hang out around, or like it's very very easy to also through work, because it's
Yeah.
a very international environment to eventually meet people from different places.
So in my case, around me there are almost like no Spanish. So my team is pretty like, regarding my work, my team is pretty international. So we have some French people, we have another PhD that is Spanish, but then the rest are from abroad. You know, like Italians, people from China. Yeah, so many places. So my friends are a mix. You know, like I have French, we a couple of Spanish international. So normally we speak in English, but now that my level of French is, like higher, we try to speak like many times in French, so that it will be easier to improve. And then also like where I am living, like also like the atmosphere is pretty international, so you have a bit of everything. So I wouldn't say that in my case I am only with Spanish people, because in fact I only know a couple of Spanish in Paris. So in that sense I am happy, because it's good to integrate with people, especially with locals and so on. So yeah,
Yeah,
so this is
nice.
good. And then you have also like many things going on in Paris, so you have a lot of chances to get to know people. Like I don't know, like in my case I do athletics, so there are like running groups that you can find in Facebook or other places. So it's easy, to meet people, and you have people from everywhere in Paris. Yeah.
I forgot that at the question workout or chill out, you said workout. Okay, very 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 sporty. Okay, and what do you say, Dustin? Like, also Antwerp. I guess the answer is yes, right? Like Belgium is a trilingual country, so probably it's easy also to meet people from many parts in the world, like through the work or.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, for sure, we had this COVID phase right in the beginning, so that
Maybe we should say that this whole project was very very strongly hit by the COVID
yeah, we started
pandemic.
basically when COVID started. So
Exactly. So
so in the beginning was barely just like a bit of your colleagues, but also not much, because you tried to do a lot of home office in the beginning. But also like at my work, there's just one other German actually, and she started later than I. So like most of my colleagues are actually just from around Antwerp. But yeah, that's fine. We also have like a colleague from South Africa, in which you also will be hosting the show.
yeah,
once.
it will be
Uh,
present in the future episodes.
Yeah, and for sure some colleagues from the Netherlands. But yeah, this is like they speak the same language as people from Belgium. So yeah, it's not like something where you then like a bit more connect to. But like all of my colleagues are super nice, so I never had like an issue to don't understand with someone, or like yeah. But it's not like that big international. Nowadays I think it's a bit bigger, because yeah, I go often to the gym as well, like, and they meet more people. Like,
another workout person.
yeah, I think
I really
yeah.
cannot relate with you too.
But also like I don't know, since yeah we now can go out and we meet then the friends of our friends a bit at that, like you get
Yeah,
incorporated in other friends groups, and there you then just meet other people from around the world. Or yeah, I think in
Sounds
Belgium it's a
very
bit more
nice.
like the Belgian people. Like there are a lot of Belgian people. But I mean it's Belgium, right? But yeah.
Sounds very very nice, very very nice. I think that there are still some, like, so you two both seems like very very satisfied, right? Like of the situation where you are right now, and the place where you are. So it's very very good and very very nice to hear. But is there, like, I don't know, sometimes you wake up one day and it's like, if only I would be like, I don't know, home, there would be, I don't know, this thing or that thing. Like, if there is that one thing that you would really, really want, even to find in Paris, even though like being a very big city probably is easy to find anything, or in Antwerp specifically, which can be really anything. Something I think more banally said, like something that you miss about home from time to time.
Yeah. I think like the biggest thing I miss is a bit, yeah, like I'm a vegan, and then sometimes if you go to restaurants, especially like as I said, like I'm not living in Antwerp, especially like I'm living in a small town, and like the most of the restaurants there don't have vegan food. So also like this is was a big downer actually begins because like Belgium is very famous for their fries. Like they invented actually the fries, right? But they use animal oil to
I
fry
know
the
for sure
fries.
that there is a huge debate on this.
And I was like,
I will not express
no.
my opinion in this.
No, but
in
I
this matter.
was like, oh yeah, I can go to Belgium, like eat tons of fries because I really love fries. And I was like, oh, I can't. Okay.
because maybe we should explain it, like for like
Yeah, like as I said, like like it's animal oil they're fried in, and like
Right.
as a vegan, like
Right,
don't
right.
eat animal products, right? So yeah, it was like then a no go for me to eat from them, and so that's a bit of shame. But
So you feel that there are less places where you could just restaurants that you could just comfortably go and find something that easily you can eat.
But I think
the
also
menu.
it's a bit like the factor because I'm living in a small city. Like when you go to Antwerp, you don't have this problem at all anymore, for sure, right? There are some restaurants which I just don't go, but there are also a lot of options where I'm super happy with, right? So that's fine. But yeah, I also like the last years before I moved to Belgium, like I lived in Hamburg, which is like the second biggest city in Germany. So I think I was also just a bit used to like having everything I need everywhere I want and everywhere. Like another thing which I'm a bit missing is like the public transport in Belgium is fine. But like it stops very early-ish. Like when I'm in Antwerp and I want to go home by train, like the last train is between 11 and 12, and also during the weekends there's nothing like a night train or so. So we often then have to take an Uber, which is quite expensive, and also like
I can relate it with the public
Yeah.
transportation. Like we're not talking about me and like I mean, yeah, I'm from Italy, but not where I live. This maybe will be object of another episode. But yeah,
True.
I
You-
can totally
I think
relate
you
with
can
this.
just like do a whole story on this, yeah. No, and another thing about the transport is in Belgium, the public transport. Like when you go on a bus or you go on the small trains, they don't tell you where you are. There's no sign, and they don't say at which station you are. So if you're not local or you don't have phone with internet
Quite
view,
confusing.
you're just like, okay, I'm just sitting in here, cool.
quite
I don't
quite
know.
confusing. Yeah.
I really don't get it. Like I was like,
So you're on the train with your Google Maps always open.
yes,
It's like,
yes,
okay,
yes.
not now. Okay, now
Yeah.
this is the right one.
Also in the beginning, like I was visiting a friend who lived in Antwerp, and I was like, yeah, it was a rainy day, so I decided to not take the bike, just take the bus. And first thing I wanted to go on the bus, and yeah, for sure was like in the beginning, so I was not that good in Dutch, and I could not read because COVID times. I could not buy a ticket as the bus driver, so there was the option to buy a ticket online or with the app. Yeah, I had not the app, and I needed the Belgium number for it. So I was in the bus, and I was like, okay, then I leave the bus. And then I finally got a place where I could buy a ticket. Then I went in another bus, and then I was like, okay, and where am I now? So I was like, oh no. But yeah, no, like if
Okay.
you're used to it, if you know what then it's fine. Like, but it was a bit in the beginning, like, guys, please.
So it takes a bit of practice. After
Yeah,
a bit of
yeah.
practice, you learn your stops and and you can get down.
Exactly.
And Sarah, what do you miss of Spain? Yeah.
So in Paris, like regarding food and these kind of things, normally you don't have problem because it's really huge city, so you can find almost everything, you know. But then there are some things that I miss. For example, one is to be like, you know, in a place that is more quiet, more calm, and so on. Like in my region,
Not be waking up by the traffic sound or people
exactly.
honking on the street.
Yeah, exactly. Like for example, in Spain, I am for a place that you have like the sea super close, also the mountain, small city. You can walk almost everywhere. And in Paris, like I miss so you know a bit this part, like not to have sea, mountain, not to be so quiet. So
But
this is
do you like this trade-off? So you would tend to say like Paris is nice, but I prefer a smaller city, or you say like a smaller city is nice, but Paris has so many more things to do, and maybe I like it so much.
I think for now, for our moment, while we are still young, and active and so on, to be in a place like Paris is nice because it offers you like a lot of things. Then maybe if you are, a retired person, Paris is not the best place to live,
Not
I would
not
say.
not elderly friendly. For
Exactly,
sure.
not elderly friendly. But for young people, I think it's good to live, at least for a while in a place like Paris. It can give you, a perspective of life that will be pretty different that if you are in a comfy small place. So I am happy. I am happy living there. But it's just, some days you want to disconnect a bit and everything. You have like the traffic jam. Every distance is super huge and everything, and I think this is what I miss the most, to be honest, and not to lose like hours in metro bus and everything. So for me, yeah, if I had to say something, I would say that.
Okay, nice, nice. Well, I think we have come to the end of this first episode. I want to thank you both very, very much. It was very nice. I was very tense, first time recording, so whew.
Thank you, Tommaso, for a
Yeah.
nice interview.
No problems. No problems. As you will have heard, we have almost not spoken about our job. This is not our main goal with this podcast. Eventually, if you want more information about what we do, we have a website and we have social media channels that can be also reached. Just search for Inspire ITN Safety Pharmacology, and you will find us for sure. So, Sarah, Dustin, thank you very, very much. And yeah, waiting for the next episodes
Okay,
with
thank
more
you.
more guests.
Thank you for the nice talk.
Yeah, thanks very much. It was
And-
fun.
Yeah, and remember that if you are vegan and you're in Belgium, you cannot eat those fries.